it be? 4, 5, 6, like they say I can't be fixed.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
And I'm Jill.
And welcome to Fluffy Mother Fluffer, where we're taking life seriously, one laugh at a time.
This week we're getting down and dirty because kids are disgusting and everything needs to be bleached.
What?
We're talking domestic roles in the household.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. First, I'm going to cover whether gender roles are often confused with domestic roles. Then Jenny's going to... I have no idea what you're doing. What are you doing? What are you doing, Jenny?
Oh, my God. I want to talk a little bit about sex. And
When did we just do that?
we did the last one, but I'm not done with this topic yet.
Okay.
But this is going to be more like, what were you taught about sex?
Okay.
And then kind of going into how gender plays a part into how we thought about sex.
Ooh, interesting. And then finally, we're going to bring in our own domestic partners for a fun little game. Jesse and Captain Hot Pants are going to be in the house to play a little game called No Habla Wifey. What's your absolute favorite chore to do and your least favorite chore to do?
Favorite chore?
Yeah, right. I was like, fucking have one.
I hate laundry.
Yes.
It's just fucking tedious.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you got to wash it, and then you got to dry it, and then you got to fucking fold it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got to put it away. I just fucking hate laundry.
My kids don't put anything. One leg is inside out. One leg is not. There's socks.
Underwear is still
In the
connected to the pants.
Yes.
Fucking bullshit. What do I like to do? I don't mind mowing the lawn.
Yeah. Do you guys have a rider or
Yeah.
you have a walker? Rider?
Yep.
Yeah. Because then you can just put on a podcast and you can ride along.
Right.
Ride around and listen and have a beer and
Right.
take off your top and... No?
I
I was told that's how you have to lawn mow. Fuck.
don't tell Jesse.
Got me again. I hate cooking, but I think I've said that many times. That is my least favorite.
Oh, see, and I
Just
don't
hate cooking.
That's so funny because I don't look at that as a domestic chore.
You don't?
Because I like cooking. It's fun for me and I love eating and I love food. So grocery shopping is not my big, I'm not a big fan of grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nowadays you can just order everything on your phone and go pick it up.
Right. I guess that's a good way to look at it. Is you might not see it as a domestic role if you really actually enjoy it. It's more like a privilege.
Hobby.
So do you want to know my perspective on whether or not we confuse gender roles with domestic roles?
Yeah, I do.
One of my favorite units when I used to teach sociology was gender, because gender is a really fun topic as we don't realize it's thrown in our faces day after day. And it's something that typically leads us in many of our choices because it's subconsciously ingrained into us, even as babies, what gender we are.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it, was your first outfit your child wore home from the hospital? What did it look like?
Right. Yeah, it was pink.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My son wore a little one-piece outfit that said Little Slugger,
Mm-hmm.
Daddy's Little Slugger, and my daughter had on a pink outfit.
Yeah.
You know,
Both
you
my
don't
girls
think
had
about
pink
it.
outfits. Yeah.
Mhm. Now, I want to be clear. We aren't talking about biological sex here. Or
Right.
I'm not going to be. Sex is the biological or anatomical aspect. It is the actual body parts that we have. Gender is not biological. Gender is completely societally formed. So gender is what guides us in how we're supposed to act, what we're supposed to like,
Mm-hmm.
and who we're supposed to become. So just look down any aisle at a store.
Right.
You'll see gender norms everywhere.
Yep.
In 2016, which was the last year I was teaching at the college, I remember that year actually finding an article that Target took down their gender assigned toy signs.
Yes.
They used to have boy toys and girl toys.
Oh my gosh.
And if you look at it, it's still that way. They just took down the signs.
They just took down the signs. But it's amazing the amount of people who believe that toys should be gender specific.
Yeah.
Not so much for girls as much as for boys, it seems like.
Like boy dolls.
Right.
It is impossible to find a doll for a boy that's not in a pink box.
Right. What harm can come from a boy playing with a doll? It just means that they're going to be a better dad or a better husband.
Yeah.
But I've met husbands who have real problems with their sons having like a play kitchen set. Come the fuck on. Are you serious right now?
They're going to have to eat at some point.
Yeah.
in their lives.
Why is that a problem? Like, why is that a problem? Because you don't want them. I don't. Okay, I'm just getting mad now. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of the same way. I now having a boy and a girl. My daughter has never played with dolls. People have bought her dolls, but she is a Marvel superhero kid. She is a shark kid. And in fact, I shop in the boy section for her for clothes because you can't find Marvel Avengers girls underwear.
Yeah.
You can't find Marvel girls or Avengers clothes.
All the t-shirts.
You have to go in the boys.
Right. All of the t-shirts. I do the same thing because they have all the cool t-shirts in the boys section.
Yeah.
Like
With
all of like the
sharks
graphic
and-
tees.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting out of the box, but traditional norms typically are still dictated by that old childhood rhyme that goes, boys are made of snips and snails and puppy dog tails. Girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice.
Right.
So you still hear that gender stereotype when people say boys will be boys.
Oh.
That pisses me off to no end
Yeah.
because
Well, that's basically saying that those boys should not have accountability for their actions because they're boys. What do you expect?
so because your child has a penis, it's
Right.
okay for your child to be destructive and hurtful and violent because
Right.
boys will be boys.
Right. That's bullshit.
So they get to be dicks because they have a dick.
right.
No.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%.
Or cursing. Cursing is a guy thing for adults. Bitch, please. That's
Right.
all I'm going to say about that. We even brought up gender norms in episode 12 when we were talking about you're a fluffy sibling, when we talked about how the oldest sister in our family versus the older brother tended to do more of the caretaking roles in the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's a traditional gender norm that also
Right.
we were following. But here's some traditional gender norms that typically are dictated to us based off of biological sex. These are the gender norms that are very traditional.
Okay.
So men are stoic. They should not show a lot of emotion and they need to be strong. Men should be confident and capable of being leaders, heads of household, and caretakers in the financial sense. We typically look down upon men who take roles of stay-at-home dads, men who cry when they're hurt or angry, and we certainly don't expect a woman to take a punch for a man.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot behind that as far as the psychological impacts of that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you're setting them up for failure. Think of the conflict that would have if they fall in love with somebody, but he believes he should be the head of the household, and she believes just because he has a penis that should not happen. Like that has to cause a lot of problems.
Oh, absolutely. Because how are you ever going to come into agreement on that? And again, those are things like you could talk about before marriage, but still gender norms are things people sometimes don't think about because it's just assumed that this is how it goes. And it's
Right.
like, well, it's really made up bullshit.
Right.
Oftentimes we talk about the impacts of media and the way that women are portrayed in media and the psychological impact on eating disorders and images and self-worth. That's the same for men.
Yeah.
I've always found that short men are more passionate and more driven.
Mm-hmm.
I actually find pretty hot. I just think it's sad if it's because they feel like they need to overcompensate.
Absolutely.
So women are supposed to be passive, soft-spoken, and socially inviting. They are natural caregivers and act as the emotional support as well. Because of this emotional support role, they are approved to be emotional. And this having feelings and shit is often a tick in the box as to why women cannot run companies or be president. Because, wars aren't started by men with insecurities
Right.
who are having competitions to see who has the biggest penis or something.
Right.
I mean, we have never had a war to date in America having no female presidents. Have we?
Right.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. I always love that. We can't have female presidents. Just think
What's
of
going to happen when she's
Yeah.
on her period? You interact with women every day who are on their period.
Right.
Just be scared if we all sync up. That's when shit's going to go down. Another role that is often placed on women in traditional gender norm category is the role of domestic caretaker. So women are to be cooks, cleaners, sewers, launders, valets, and more. Funny example of that one, when we built our home, I asked our builder to put in one of those built-in ironing boards in our laundry room.
Yeah.
So you can just pull it out.
Right.
And Captain Hot Pants recalls the conversation being that I said that I wanted it so that it could be more convenient for me to iron his work shirts, to which I responded, yeah, you're right. It is more convenient for you to iron your work shirts. I believe I said that.
Yeah. I've had Jesse say, I have a hole in these pants pockets or whatever. And I'm like, like, listen here, buddy.
Here is a needle. Here is some thread.
I don't know how to sew, but I know for a fact in the military you were taught how. So you have at her.
Right? We have that conversation about the bed all the time. Oh my God. Making the bed appropriately. I'm like, you had to make a bed. You literally got in trouble if you didn't make a bed well.
Right.
What happened?
Right.
The biggest thing we fight about in our house is I don't know why this perplexes me. If there is a dish in the sink that a child in our house puts in the sink, clearly it's not my dish. It'll be like a Snoopy water bottle. My husband will wash dishes around that dish, put that one to the side, and then when he's done washing his dish, put that back in the sink. Is this just me?
No, it's not.
Because I'm like, your kids are not going to come wash that dish. You know this.
Yes.
So all you're doing is making work for me.
Right. And you are actually doing extra work for yourself to move it out of the way. No,
Is
Jesse
it
does this too. Like, does do his own laundry. And so if the girls' laundry is in the dryer or there's a load of towels in the dryer or whatever, what should I do with this? Fucking fold them.
Yeah. Put it away.
I don't know. Why are you asking me? Why is it my responsibility?
Just
like, they're your children too. If I had to choose between folding my children's clothes or towels, fuck yeah, I'm going to choose the towels. That takes like 2 minutes.
Give me the towels. Try to match the socks. You're going to be there for hours.
But yeah, he will literally just be like, oh, I'll just set them up here on the dryer for you to deal with later. What the fuck?
This kind of goes into the next point I wanted to make, is that when children enter the household, often women's careers are naturally expected to take the backseat to the husband, assuming you're in a heterosexual relationship. And I think when that happens and you become that stay-at-home parent, oftentimes that gets misconstrued as, well, you're home all day, you get to do all the domestic stuff. I mean, stay-at-home parents, men, women, whoever's listening, what do you do all day when you're home with kids? You entertain kids. That is your job during the day. Your job is not mopping, cooking. I mean, you try to get those things done,
right?
But that is not the reality of it when you have needy children who want to do things with you.
Right. And the reality of it in our house, for some reason, is, oh, well, you do these things while I'm at work. But when you have the children, let's say I get to go out, your excuse for not getting anything else done is because you're watching the children.
Yes.
So why would you think it's any differently for me?
Yes.
You know, literally, I am carrying children around all day.
Right.
Literally.
And this is a topic that we want to come back to. We want to do maybe a couple episodes on being a stay-at-home parent because there is a lot to say in that. But I will say this. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Women still don't make dollar for dollar with men. Traditional women's careers still don't offer salaries comparable to male-dominated industries, and we are still light years behind other westernized countries on maternity leave. This one pisses me off to no end that we have allowed corporations to get away with this for so many years, that women were allowed to enter the workforce, but we were basically punished for it.
Right. With
the lack of legal standards for women being able to take maternity leave in some realms, and also the lack of pay for it. It boggles my mind. It really does.
Right.
But anyway, we'll come back to the maternity leave stuff another day.
Okay. But
my point in all of this is the strong majority of households in the United States are two-income households. Women are out in the workforce and even surpassed men in attaining college degrees. 29% of American heterosexual households now even have a woman who makes more income than her husband. It's now completely natural to ask a child what their dad and mom do for a living. So sometimes my kids say weird things about what I do.
Like what?
So I wish the teacher wouldn't ask them. Like, she talks about stuff in the basement. She has a special room in the basement.
Is it red?
What's in it?
Red
What's
room?
in it? Tell me more. Tell me more. So studies now like to point out that since 1976, women's domestic duties in the household have decreased while men's have nearly doubled. But even with men doing twice as much as their fathers before them, they still fall very short of what women do. In an average day, women are still doing at least 2 more hours of housework than men. That means women are doing nearly 20 hours of domestic chores in a week, while men are still doing less than 10 hours. So they've doubled, but we are still double.
Yeah.
They're double.
Right.
This doing more work in the household does not change whether married or single, married with children in the house, or married with children not in the house. Women still come out on top. Women still even come out on top if they are the main breadwinners in the household.
That's crazy.
Yeah, riddle me that one, Sharon.
And I know that my husband and I have these conversations a lot too. Like, eventually I would like to go back to work. but I refuse to continue doing everything that I do now and work. And I refuse to also just let those things slide. If I'm going to go back to work, then you need to up your game as well.
Yeah. In fact, I remember when we had our first child, that was my exact opinion. I'm like, I can't do all of this and go back to work.
Right.
If I'm going to go back, I'm going back. So I actually had a calendar that said, this is the night you get up with the kid. This is the night I get up. This is the night that you make dinner. This is the night that you do the daycare, drop off and pick up. Like, I literally wrote it out so that it didn't fall on me, and we followed the calendar and it worked out pretty well.
I know other people that do something similar. I know my sister does like chore charts of things that need to get done throughout the week. And these are things that you need to do. These are things. I don't know how that would work with my husband.
Now, if you're thinking that, yes, men aren't doing as much in the house, and you're thinking, well, yeah, but they do a lot more of other things that women aren't doing, things like mowing, snow removal, and more. Here's my beef with this. We do those things, but why are many of the duties that are considered gender stereotype male jobs the ones that don't include, 1, the children, 2, being in the house with the children, and 3, that they're not required on the daily?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Those things are like once a week.
Once in a while,
maybe,
yeah.
Once in a while things. Yeah. They are definitely, even if that was only strictly something that they did, that's still like a quarter of the time because that is not something you're doing every day.
Right. Here's my belief on why.
You came at the wrong time.
Going down.
My husband.
He's here now.
Yeah, he just showed up.
Because he came for the special segment. So, it's got really cold in here. Now, my educated feminist side wants to say this. Men wrote the Bible, literally and figuratively speaking, on gender roles. No, I'm not. But I'm just going to say, literally and figuratively speaking, they wrote the Bible on gender roles. And because of this, these outside duties that do not typically include child rearing, where one might have to get dirty to complete them, or you might have to work with your hands and get you away from the family, those are all assigned to men. But to play my own devil's advocate, there are also biological reasons for some duties being given to men versus women. We are not structurally built the same in some respects.
Right.
And this does not apply for everyone. So please bear in mind that for those that are transsexual, or there are many women out there that are far stronger than some of the men I find at the gym. So, but I started reading this book called 400 Souls, which is by one of my favorite authors, Ibram Kendi, that covers from 1619 to present day in Black slavery and oppression. He notes that when African men and women were brought over to America, they were not sexually defined. They were just considered slaves.
Wow.
Right. So they were just basically stripped of their sexuality.
Literally stripped of everything. Then.
Yes, absolutely.
Even their sexuality. That's crazy.
So when women were assigned duties such as lumber and forestry, cutting and stripping away trees for planting, having to carry those heavy loads on their heads did massive damage to their anatomical structure. Now, again, this doesn't apply to everyone. I think for sports that maybe we need to have a standard you meet, and if you can play, you can play. We had females who played football, in high school.
Right.
And they could do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it because I just don't.
Right. No.
I don't have that capacity, but I absolutely think you should be able to play if you can play.
Right.
But anyway, keeping that in mind, that there is some sort of anatomical aspect to some things. I'm going to say this, though. Relying on gender roles to define who does what in the household is the epitome of stupidity.
Yeah.
You're basically setting the first stone and building a wall of resentment in marriages.
Yeah.
Like, that is the reality of it. Would I rather be outside listening to a podcast and sitting on our riding lawnmower and having a beer than in the house breaking up fights and making lunches and putting laundry away? Yeah, I would sometimes. And you know what? I do sometimes.
Yep.
Because I've made it very clear through communication to Captain Hot Pants that I want to do those things too.
Right.
And he respects that. And that is what we do.
Yeah.
Do we agree on everything? No. Do I still do the majority of the stuff in the household? I feel 100% absolutely I do.
Right.
But Captain Hot Pants also knows I'm a stubborn asshole. So I have no qualms with asking him to make dinner on the days he doesn't work, because I don't like cooking dinner. And I'm not going to go just sit on my butt while he does it. I'm going to go do something else productive. So we are also sharing roles.
Right.
My point in all of this is, don't confuse gender with being incapable or the only one capable of doing certain things around the house. Your partner might be wicked good at something you didn't even know. Maybe they're a really great cook and you just haven't given them the opportunity. Or they haven't taken the initiative to see if they're a good cook on the days where they could cook.
Do you ever feel like they purposely do shit bad though, so they don't have to do
Yeah,
it?
sometimes.
Yeah,
Yes.
fucking happens all the time. I know it does.
Sometimes I'll mow the lawn and smiley faces. Gonna be cold out this week. Smiley face it is. I ain't going out later.
We're gonna talk about what were you taught about sex?
I never had a sex talk with my parents.
Really?
What actually happened was I went to a small parochial school, and our teacher decided out of the blue to give us a sex talk. And since it was a parochial school, we were made to be very afraid of sex and to never even conceive of doing it before marriage. I mean, the way that he made it seem was like if you had sex with someone before marriage, that you were going to get herpes, like all these things. Like he taught us about genital warts, and it's like,
Wow.
there's health class, and then there's just telling a bunch of kids about how they're all going to go to hell and they're going to get genital warts
Oh my
if they have sex
gosh.
before marriage. So we learned about it in an atypical way, that's for sure.
Well, and that kind of brings me to what I want to discuss. Everybody has learned about sex in some way or another, right? But a lot of times, like I feel, so we had health class, and I believe it was in middle school. I want to say maybe 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade.
Okay.
We watched a video of a woman giving birth.
Shut up. That's so graphic.
It is graphic, but you know what? It was good. Because there's always that, what age do you really like let them know the down and dirty of it? And I would say that 13, 14 is when really you start kind of getting those sexual feelings.
That's true.
And experimenting a little bit. So for me, seeing somebody give birth was like, fuck that.
But was it used as a fear factor? Like, this is what it's like to give birth?
No,
Don't
it was
have
no. I
unsafe
think
sex.
in a way, yes, it was. It was like, this is what happens. This is what happened when you have sex. You can get pregnant. I don't necessarily know it was a fear factor, but it was just like this is what fucking happens. This is the purpose of sex. This is what happens when you have sex.
Sounds to me like it was a little bit of to show a child what it's like to give birth. That's pretty graphic.
But I mean, at that point, I was like, I definitely don't want to do that.
Right.
So, like, I don't think it was necessarily
Point made.
I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing. I feel like when I talked to my mom about it, it was kind of similar to your experience. It was portrayed as something you did only with somebody you loved or you were married to. And this could be, this I'm not 100%, but I feel like it was almost portrayed as something dirty or shameful.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's fucked with me. Like that's fucked with me mentally, even now. Like that's a hurdle to get over. I get that society as a whole in those days, we kind of already talked about that, right? Like women were told, you need to do this, you shouldn't be sexually active. You're
supposed to be sexually prudish.
Right. Like that was the expectation.
Right.
And so we're kind of crossing that barrier at this point where women have sex partners, have fun with it, not just a reproductive thing. It's a pleasure thing.
Right.
You should enjoy it.
No, I totally feel you. Absolutely. It's a hard concept to grasp when your initial understanding of sex is that women are supposed to be conservative and women are not supposed to be sleeping around, and that it's really not about enjoying yourself. It's about making babies. And you don't want to make a baby, so you need to stay away from it. When it's not presented to you as, hey, this is something you can do that's really fun and it feels good and it's something that you should enjoy with someone. But if it's not presented to you in that format because of religious reasons or conservative parenting, whatever the case is, it's really hard to get out of that mindset of it's okay for me to be like this and not be considered a whore or whatever other awful terminology was placed on women who acted outside of that.
Right. Yeah. And I think that causes a lot of problems. And I've had this discussion with Jesse before of what are we going to do? Like, I don't necessarily think that the route my parents went was the best route. And it's nothing against them, right? They did the best they could with what they had and the information they had. I'm just saying that I would like to do something different with my girls, right? There's such a fine line. Like what what do you say? What I tell them? I would like to say, I do not think you should wait until marriage to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think that. I know a lot of people do feel that way. I think that they should get to explore their sexuality
Mhm.
first
Mhm.
before committing to somebody.
Mhm.
Because I do think that that plays a huge part in a relationship.
Getting to know your role inside that marriage. So a lot of times I feel like the people that save themselves for marriage are doing it for religious reasons.
Yes.
I feel like there's always this element of a sinful nature behind it or being condemned for it. If that's the only reason that justifies saving yourself for marriage, why wouldn't you want to figure out who you're sexually compatible to? Because
Mhm.
that, like we talked about last episode, psychologically,
Yeah.
it's important, and it can actually make your marriage that much stronger.
Mhm.
To have somebody that you are like, this person understands me, this person knows what I need sexually, they know what I need psychologically,
Right.
they know what I need. So if you don't know what you need,
Mhm.
how's that going to work?
So my next question would be, do you think sex is portrayed differently between boys and girls?
Oh, for sure.
And I absolutely agree. And it pisses me off.
You and I come from a more liberal
Mhm.
mindset.
Right.
And I know not everyone agrees. And I think even in public school, sometimes we're a little guilty of sticking with very traditional gender norms.
Mm-hmm.
My son's in 4th and they just had the first talk about their
Wow.
private areas
Okay.
and not a sex talk, but I was actually kind of annoyed that the boys and girls were separated to talk about health. Coming from a counseling and psychology background, I understand that that's a really difficult point for kids that age
Yeah.
where they're going to feel uncomfortable. But
Mhm.
now they learned about themselves and they learned fucking nothing about the opposite sex.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah.
I honestly think that you should know about boys and girls,
Mm-hmm.
not just one or the other.
Right. I agree.
Not just about yourself. And I'm sure that I know they'll get back to that.
Mhm.
And I don't know enough because I did not go to a public school when they do. But
Mhm.
I really hope it's not too late because I really don't see any reason for them not to learn about the opposite sex.
No, absolutely. You don't want to be a 35-year-old man who realizes that women have
3 holes?
3 holes.
Yeah.
No, but
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah,
What?
so- right? The other aspect of that, as far as sex being portrayed differently, or
Mhm.
maybe like expectations, girl versus boy expectations when it comes to sex, I hear a lot of still like, oh, I'm going to show up with a shotgun if a guy shows up to take my daughter out. But man, if my son wants to go out and get laid,
My God.
by golly, boys will be boys. Bullshit.
Yep. That is probably one of my main issues with that. Boys will be boys when it comes to sexual activity.
Mhm.
Boys will be boys. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. It's cool that your son is going and cheating on girlfriends. That's okay because he's a boy and he's got testosterone and
Right.
this is what he needs to do.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I feel like that's still a thing these days. And it's
Yeah.
really, really annoying. Like, how do you expect these boys to change or learn differently when you're telling them that this is okay?
And funny enough, I feel like we find that in those that stick to stereotyped gender norms. Very
Mhm.
conservative people tend to have that boys will be boys mentality.
Right.
So when it comes to a female getting pregnant or something like that in the
Mhm.
relationship, it is her fault.
Right. Which
Not
fucking
his.
blows my mind.
Because boys, well, he just needs to have sex. He's a boy. But what was she thinking?
Right. Which, like our last
that it's
episode,
fun?
that is
It feels good. I don't know.
right.
Like same thing he was.
Right. Because it's not a need, like we talked about in
Right.
the last episode. But there you go again. You telling your son that that is a need causes all kinds of fucking problems
Mhm.
for him in future relationships.
Mm-hmm. And if he feels like it's a need, great. Our brains don't fully develop until we're in our 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So a teenage boy, a tween boy is not going to understand that that's not a need. Just like they don't understand that they don't need candy. They don't need the newest video game.
Yeah.
So great. Tell him about how he can please himself then
Right.
so that he can treat girls nicely
And
and,
that-
not just try to use them for sex.
Right. And that's okay. I think that's
That's
ano-
okay.
That's another thing, right?
Yeah.
Masturbation has been portrayed as a negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why? It's not hurting
Who are you
anyone.
hurting? Yeah.
Right. Right.
Right.
Exactly. If anything, it's
I mean, unless you're
helpful.
Pee Wee Herman in the movie theater. Poor Pee-wee.
What are you going to focus on with your children?
My children will not have purity rings.
Purity rings?
Oh, remember that was that was big with the Jonas Brothers. They were
Oh.
wearing their purity rings so they didn't have sex before marriage.
No, I have no idea.
Oh yeah, purity rings.
Okay.
We will have an honest talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I will let them know what expectations I would have for them or what I would hope they would do.
Right.
And I would hope to be very open and forthright about it.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a feeling, though, that I will probably let Captain Hot Pants take the lead with our son, just simply because he understands the male anatomy better than I do.
Sure. Right.
I don't know as much as he does. I will definitely take the lead with our daughter and explain to her that your sexuality is nothing to ever be ashamed of,
Mm-hmm.
ever.
Right.
You are allowed to enjoy yourself just as much as a man. However, you always have the risk of becoming pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a big thing. So just
Right.
be safe.
So if she came up to you when she's like 15 and she said, I would like to get on birth control.
I would make sure at that point that she knew why she wanted to be on it,
Mm-hmm.
that she knew what it was, that you can't just take it when you remember it.
Right.
It's still not 100% effective.
Yes. That reminds me of a Friends episode where Joey's like, condoms are only 99% effective. What?
You would say that.
Like, yeah, it says it right on there.
Yep.
See, that's another hard thing. Like, at what age do you start going over it? I guess I kind of feel like I go little by little. I mean, my child's only 4. My oldest is only 4. So, I've started with like, that's what this is called. That's your vagina and this is your butt. And,
Oh, we did call it a front butt for a while. I just remember that. That's what she called it, her front butt. One time she goes, I just made a bubble out my front butt. And I'm
so
like,
funny.
sometimes that happens.
We'll tell you the name of that later. Yeah, what that's called.
Oh, God. And we're back for special segment time. Whoop, whoop. You going to do a whoop, whoop?
What?
Hey, heavy breathers, are you guys going to do a whoop, whoop?
Yeah. Quit playing with the cord so much.
Oh, my God.
Christ.
Double banana.
We have Jesse and Captain Hot Pants in the house for a special segment today. We might regret it. We'll see. Yeah. Dear
my
God. Sorry, guys. This might be a long segment.
No, I'm gonna slap mine against your face.
Slap it. We should have sat next to each other.
Yeah, we should.
Hey, Jesse. Jesse, did you hear our fact from last episode about the longest penis ever? How big it was? You want to take a guess?
3.5 inches.
Does it come with a hand motion?
Oh my. Jesse, guesses? How big?
10 inches.
Bigger.
10.5 inches.
Bigger. 13.5 inches.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That guy was just lying.
No, they measured it.
Around.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
Circumference is unknown.
Hung like a tuna
Circumference is
can.
unknown.
I already asked.
Jesse, do you want to introduce yourself to the listeners?
Hi, my name is Jesse. I'm 38 years old. I like fast cars and long walks by myself.
And Captain Hot Pants, do you want me to introduce you? Or do you have a few things you want to say?
No.
You can introduce yourself?
No.
Okay, so we're going to play our special segment, which today is called No Habla Wifey. We decided to name this week's special segment No Habla Wifey as a homage to the fact that this episode is coming out on Cinco de Mayo, which is the celebration to commemorate Mexico's victory over France in 1862 at the Battle of Puebla.
Oh, really? I had no idea. I thought it was just an excuse to drink margaritas.
It kind of is, actually, because we took it and we spun it, and actually we celebrate Cinco de Mayo here more than they do in Mexico. It's becoming a Mexican-American holiday, just like we celebrate St. Patrick's Day more than they do in Ireland.
Play completely unrelated games and just say them in Spanish.
And we all have tacos, because that's not racist.
I mean,
Tacos.
tacos are not racist.
No,
I love
tacos are delicious.
I've never met a racist taco.
Anyway, so that's why we threw that into the name this week. So you got to talk into your mic all the way in.
All the way.
Not just the
quiet.
tip. Not just the tip. All the way in.
Oh.
Okay.
That's my line.
It's always all the way in
Mhm.
if it is just a tip.
You start with just a tip.
If you only have a tip.
Here's a tip all the way in.
You guys should have came on last episode.
Right?
All right, Captain Hot Pants and I have been married almost 11 years. And Jesse, how long have you guys been married?
Hey, insert happily.
Is this a quiz? Is this a test?
This is question 1. No.
We've been together 11 years, married for 6.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
She had to
Yes.
think about it longer
Yes.
than I did, for the record.
So before the show, Jenny and I both answered the same 8 questions. And the goal of this game is going to be to see which one of our spouses better reads our minds. Because they know shit
I'm
about
going to
us.
fail horribly.
I can already read Jesse's mind if that helps.
No, see, yeah, I thought about that, but no, unfortunately, you have to answer questions about me, and then Jesse has to answer them about
Yeah.
Jenny.
Can we answer questions about each other? We might score higher.
Sure. After this, we'll let that. We'll insert that too.
She's
So-
talking about butt stuff.
She said insert.
Yeah, she did.
You guys, seriously, should we get my kids to play instead?
No.
It might go better.
Be a more mature conversation.
I have a belly button.
Me too.
So, what's the wager for the game today, Jenny?
Ah, Jesus. You already owe me a lot.
Wife swap.
No, no, no.
I read that wrong.
It's not where I was going with that. No. See, you gotta.
Husband swap.
This isn't gonna go well. He cannot read my mind.
He's reading mine.
We will take you guys out to Rivers Bend. We'll go to one of our local supper clubs one night. And if we win, you guys foot the bill.
Okay.
You guys ready to play?
Not anymore.
You guys ready to go? All right. Here we go. Number 1. You start, Jenny. You read first.
Okay.
I will be asking Jesse because I have Jenny's answers and Jenny has my answers. Okay?
So you were going to read.
So Jenny's going to read the question.
Jenny's going to answer.
All right.
All right. Captain Hot Pants. When answering the question, if your husband picked someone to play you in a movie,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Who would it be? No. Who would play me in a movie?
Mila Kunis.
oh,
No, that's not what I said. I said
My what?
Mila Kunis from
Nope.
that 70s show from
Yeah.
Bad Moms.
She said
That's where I most relate to
Wonder
her.
Woman or Gail Cadet.
The girl who plays Wonder Woman.
Mm.
You guys say that all the time that she looks just like me. We just talked about that the other day. I said she even has that weird like
I thought I
half
got the
bald
pick.
spot like I do. No, you're supposed to pick what you think I picked. God damn it.
Too late.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
We're gonna fucking lose. Can I get a new partner?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
All right. Same question to you, Jesse. If you picked someone to play Jenny in a movie, who would it be?
I should have thought about this while you guys were talking about it.
It's too late now. 10 seconds. Jenny kind of cheated. She picked 3, and so he's just got to guess.
A young Britney Spears.
What?
Yum.
Hit me, baby, one more time. No, she picked Emma Stone, Taylor Swift, or Kaylee Kuko, who's the girl from Big Bang. All right, Jesse, here's another one coming your way. How does your partner take their tea or coffee?
In the mouth.
Is that what you call it?
I mean,
This is an expensive dinner on the line.
Hey, coffee.
a small amount of creamer. And that's it.
Black or flavored with creamer for something sweet. I think we'll accept that answer.
All right, Captain Hot Pants. How does your wife take her tea or coffee?
Black. Like her cold dead heart.
That is exactly what she said.
That is exactly what I said.
It just means you say that enough.
Oh, are we going off things they say
All
all
right.
the time?
All right.
Shut up. Sit down.
Quit hitting your brother.
Get away from me.
Get your hand out of your pants.
Ooh.
Get your hand out of my pants.
Yeah, that's it. Put it back in your pants.
1-1.
All right, Captain Hot Pants. Your wife was asked the question: if you were in a room with a spider,
Me.
a clown,
She's
or
in the
a
room.
ghost, yes, which one would she fear the most?
Marry one, fight one, fuck one.
No.
Yes, let's play that. That sounds better. Spider, clown, and a ghost. Which one would she fear most?
The clown.
Yes, that's what she said. Actually, she said, fuck clown.
The correct answer
Same
is
thing?
Oh, so I was right the first time.
yes. Yep. All right, Jesse, same question. If Jenny was in a room with a spider, a clown, or a ghost, which one would she fear the most?
Can you repeat the question?
If Jenny was in a room with a spider, a clown, and a ghost, which one would she fear the most?
Martha Stewart, Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, all clowns then.
That is correct. I mean, I don't know if you got the right answer, but that is correct. Next question. Your wife was asked,
Jill.
Correct. 2 points.
before she became a daily witness to the things that you do in the bathroom, what feature of yours did she find the sexiest? Jesse,
Hopefully it wasn't my hair.
is that your answer?
No.
What is your answer, sir?
About what I did in the bathroom?
No, before she realized how gross you were, find sexy about you. What would your wife say is the sexiest thing about you before she realized she didn't find you sexy? I don't know how to phrase this anymore.
Besides my penis.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you what the answer is. You choose.
Did you just say besides your penis?
Yes. No. I think she said muscles.
She did not. She said his smile.
I think she should have
and
said
his
muscles.
penis.
So penis.
I don't know. Does that count? Does that count? Okay.
Joked.
All right. You can get ahead by one if you get this right. Same
All right.
question to you.
Yep.
She thinks my tractor sexy.
No, really.
Eyes.
Yep. That's what fuck me eyes mean.
Come hither, eyes.
He's like, keeps staring at me. Look into my
Look
eyes.
away. Jenny, look away.
I'll get her.
He's gonna fuck something.
That's why our dog can't make eye contact with him.
Quit humping the chair.
God damn it.
Jenny, knock it off. Get the squirt bottle.
Okay. It is 3-2. It is 3-2.
All right, Captain Hot Pants.
Crushing it.
When asked what clothing Jill feels
Sweatpants.
looks the best on her, what do you think she answered? Yes,
Jen.
it was sweatpants.
Judd. Question.
God damn it, we're going to have to pay for dinner.
Oh my God. Okay, same question to you, Jesse. What clothing did Jenny say she feels she looks best in?
Jeans.
Yes, jeans and a sweatshirt. Well done. This one's going to be harder. I don't know. I don't know if either of you are going to get this one. This one's a little harder.
Well, maybe yours is harder. I don't know. We'll check.
Are you guys ready?
Sword fight.
This is what Kent was talking about in that episode on dicks. Or, it wasn't on dicks. We had an episode on dicks? Holy
Calm
shit.
down. We're trying to be serious here.
On bromances. The episode on bromances. And he said that men
Did
are
you
always
just call
talking about their
bromances
dicks.
You guys did an episode on dicks?
Yeah, if you'd fucking listen to our podcast, you would know we did.
Sometimes I identify as a dick.
Sometimes I identify you as a dick.
Sometimes I identify as his dick.
Sometimes I like to watch when you identify as my dick.
Oh my God.
Jesus, I don't even know what question we're on. If Jenny could get rid of one thing of yours, Jesse, what would it be?
I already got rid of the Mustang.
I know.
And she already has your balls.
My refrigerator.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Downstairs.
The answer was your multiple military garments, your hoarding collection of military garments. We have one of those too. We have like 4 bins of it.
We don't need 20 of the same
3.
outfit.
Their costumes.
They said a boot camp.
Okay, Captain Hot Pants, if Jill was going to get rid of any one of your items, what would it be?
My vast porn collection from the early 2000s.
Ooh, do you have...
Shit. No, that's... Can I
forgot about
change
that?
my answer?
My vast and diversified porn collection.
So,
She said the damn Nintendo Switch.
I hate
That's not mine.
Yeah, I know. That's why when I answered it, I didn't change it, but...
Nintendo's not his.
Never mind about the porn
No,
collection.
he
That doesn't exist.
put it in a box with his baseball cards, and our son was like, Dad's got baseball cards?
Oh, no.
And I'm like, don't look any further!
Captain Hot Pants, what is your wife's favorite number?
Think really hard.
It's probably something super stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.6. I don't know.
Oh, my God. Did you go over these with him? You fucking cheater.
Okay,
There
that
can't
one...
be something that stupid.
That question was rigged. That's just a fucking dumb question. I can't believe you even answered it. Why would I want to know if Jesse knows your favorite number?
I want to know.
I mean, if you get
Is it
this one,
one?
we'll count it.
Is it 2?
You were
Never mind.
close.
Is
It
it
was
5?
3.
Is
Okay,
it
okay.
6?
You can ask the next question. That one was rigged.
All right. It's true what they say that sometimes opposites attract. So, what would your spouse say is the one thing most different about the two of you?
Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. She's emotionally charged individual, and I focus mostly on logic. And
Do you want to put that a different way?
I'm super emotional.
No. You're on the right track.
Girls have
He's
a
not gonna
penis
get-
and
I'm nice.
You're prettier than I am.
You said our give a fuck meter. How much we care about other people.
Oh, I don't give
and
a
what other
fuck.
people think.
I feel like maybe that's what he said.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about anything except for
Emotionally
Jesse.
charged, yes. I care about things and he doesn't.
0 fucks.
I'm going to give us a 0.5 for that.
I am.
Okay, Jesse, your turn. What is the one thing most different about you?
No, we are way too much alike. I don't know what the problem is. That's why we don't get along ever.
She said, actually, the most different thing about you guys is how open-minded you are. Meaning, she's pretty open-minded, and you only think you are.
gonna say I'm so smart and she's so dumb.
You know what? I think that's exactly what I said, too. I have a give-a-fuck meter, and you have no give-a-fuck meter. Okay, last question. This is a doozy. Are you ready? Jesse, where do you keep the extra toilet paper at your house?
In the cupboard,
What cupboard?
in the laundry room.
No, that is not right.
That is right. There is toilet paper in there.
The master bedroom closet.
Yeah, in my closet.
Have you been looking for toilet paper?
No,
It's
because
in your
I get
master
it from,
bedroom closet.
Yeah, because he steals it. Because we don't have our half bath. We do not have. There's no place to store anything in there because we have a pedestal sink.
This is where she explains that I'm right.
So I keep the toilet paper for
Okay.
that bathroom in the laundry room. So when he runs out of toilet paper downstairs, he just steals that.
So we'll give him that. Now, Captain Hot Pants, no pressure, but you need to fucking get this right because we still win then. Get it right. Where do we keep our extra toilet paper?
In the garage.
You're joking.
Yeah.
Say
You
it.
strategically have toilet paper for 1 month's supply in each bathroom,
Yes.
and then you keep the extra toilet paper in the closet in the laundry room, like Jesse said.
Boom.
Boom. Mic drop.
I was right for both.
For both houses.
Literal.
I was
All right. We just turned to dinner.
Oh
We just
my
turned to
gosh.
dinner. Are you sure you want to take him out to dinner?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I can just take you.
Yeah, maybe we should just go. Thanks, guys, for coming in and playing this special segment with us. We have thoughts about having you in again to do a game night.
This wasn't enough of a deterrent.
I tried so hard.
What's your fluffy takeaway?
My fluffy takeaway is that I need to proactively be planning, now that my child's a little older, how I want to talk to them about sex. That's a really good point. I don't want it to be some fluffy topic that I give them a little, this is what it is about and not go in depth with. I really want them to be comfortable and confident and aware of their options. And yeah, I just want them to know the truth about it. What about you? What's your fluffy takeaway?
I might have to have another discussion with my husband about household duties.
You should honestly, I think anyone would benefit from making a list of all the things that are done in the house. Like things I don't even think of. Like today I cleaned the refrigerator and then I cleaned 2 fish tanks. Like,
You know, though, I
little
feel like
things
I've
I don't
done this
think of.
before because we do have these discussions all the time. Like I let it slide and I let it slide, and then I just get so fucking fed up with it that I like go on a rage where I'm cleaning shit, and while I'm cleaning shit, I'm just bitching at him. Yeah.
cleaning rage. Those are great.
But I'm just yelling at him like, why the fuck am I doing all that? Like, follow, share, and review our podcast. How? Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. You can find our podcast on all major podcast apps, and you can share anything you find with those you love.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hello?
Bye.
Jesse? I'll sound it out for you. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Ooh, sexy.
Yeah, you say it now.
Bye, Jesse. I love you.
Thank you for joining us on Fluffy Mother Fluffer. Hopefully this episode lifted a little bit of fluff off that pile called life. And if not, well, join us again next time, you fluffy mother fluffer, you.
So do you buy your pants hot, or do they become hot once you put them on?
They become hot once I take them off.
Oh,
So you don't know the story of the
Captain Hot
the,
underwear.
We took out the no of
Captain
Captain
Hot bare
No Hot.
ass.
You don't know the story of Captain
Yes, I
Hot
know.
Pants? Oh.
I do.
We do. I don't know if our listeners do, though. We were sitting at a bar, and he went into my mom's phone and deleted his name under contacts and put in Captain Hot Pants instead. And then he kept calling her over and over and over again. And she's like, what is this Captain Hot Pants that keeps calling me?
That is so funny.
Yeah. So then the next Christmas, she gave him a bottle of Captain Morgan with his own picture on it.
Does she still call you Captain Hot Pants?
No.
Because that would be weird.
I'm pretty sure you're still in her phone as Captain Hot Pants. Because I don't think she knows how to reset her contacts. So
Boomers.
She's had that phone for that long?
yeah, no. I mean, because you know how when you take it in and you update it,
Oh,
it just
yeah.
brings everything over. So I'm still pretty sure he's Captain Hot Pants.
Sweet.